Hey guys, this is Doctor McFarland, and today I'm going to show you how to set up different functions on the ES-8 to create your templates. And then from the template, you can create your presets and configure any kind of sound that you want. So, first thing that I did was I made a list of everything I wanted the ES-8 to do. And as you can see here, there's 12 different assigns. And for the first template, I only needed 8 assigns, I think. And then after that, I had to use up the rest to do what I wanted to do. But first things first, we need to engage the volume loop, and we need to turn off the functions for 3, 4, and the mute switch. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So we're going to go into go to the second page here, and we see the V right there. We're going to press the plus symbol, and we're going to turn that on. And that's all we need to do for that. So I'm going to go ahead and press right. And that's saved. And now we need to turn off the functions for a few patches here. So I'm going to go to the control expression, and I'm going to scroll all the way over. See where we got memory manual, mute. This is basically going through all the different switches here, and we can basically turn off the function of that switch. So go on the mute, and under function right here it says mute. I'm going to press the minus symbol, and it says off. Okay, let me write that. Go back into edit, enter. Now let's go to number 3, and we're going to turn this off. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back, go to number 4, and we're going to turn this off. And right. So now when I press 4 or 3, they're not working because I just turned off the function. And also the same thing goes with mute. Okay. So now let's go ahead and just go through these assigns. So let's go to edit, control expression, and assign number 1. We are going to set mute to turn on tuner. Okay. So first thing we gotta do is go to switch, turn it on. The source is going to be mute because that's the button we're going to use. And then mod is momentary. The category is going to be MIDI, because what we're going to do is use a CC number to tell the H9 to turn on the mute. Okay, so I have chosen number 44 for this number. And there was a great video by one of the Facebook group members showing how to set this up. So I'm sure if you go on the group there, you'll find it pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and write this. Okay. So let me get to something here. Let me go to 5. And now if I press mute, you see it change the tuner. Okay, so that's what we want. Now, the second thing that we need to do is we need to engage the loop that the H9 is in, which is in number 8. Okay, so assign number 2 we are going to go to switches on. The source, once again, is going to be mute. Okay, the mod, I think I'm going to have that on toggle. The category is going to be loop. That's correct. Then the target is going to be number 8. Okay, and if you notice, you can also go to LV, which is you can use one of these buttons to turn on and off the volume loop if you want to, but we're going to do number 8 today. So there's that. I'm going to press right. And now, when I press the mute switch, we see that number 8 comes on, and it goes to the tuner. Okay? So now, let's do number 3. So we're going to start setting up 3 and 4 right here to either turn on the M5 or the H9. Okay? So, edit, enter. Assign number 3 is set L3 to turn on a loop. Okay? So we're going to have the switch on. The source is now going to be number 3. The mod is going to be toggle. And then the category is loop. And then the target is going to be number 6. Because that's what loop the M5 is in, is number 6. Okay, I'm going to write. And now, see that 6 comes on. Okay, now I want to set the LED of number 3 to turn on, so that way I know when I press that button, I have a visual confirming that yes, it is on. So edit, enter, assign number 4 is going to be set L3 LED to turn on. So we're going to go to switch, turn it on. The source, once again, is going to be number 3. Mod is going to be toggle. Now the category is going to be LED. And then the target is going to be number 3. So I'm going to write. And now I press number 3. And then the LED turns on. And we can see also that loop 6 is engaged. Okay? So that means whatever sound I have called up on the M5 up here, I can access that through number 3 while I'm on whatever preset I'm on, because this is all going into a template, right? So now let's go ahead and do number 4. So we're going to set L4 to turn on a loop. Okay, and that is assigned number 5. So control or edit, enter, assign number 5. Switch is on. Source is going to be loop 4 now. Mod is toggle. Category is loop. And now we're going to turn on number 8. Which the tuner also, or the mute switch also turns on number 8. So basically, I can't have the H9 engaged when I go to the tuner. Otherwise, this mute switch will turn off switch number 8. And I won't be getting signal to the H9. So basically, I would need to turn off the H9 or the loop before I hit the mute switch to tune, which is not a huge deal because most of these patches I'm going to create, it's just a blank, it doesn't have the H9 in it, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Alright, let's set the LED for L4 to turn on. So we're going to do edit, enter, This is going to be number 6. All right, so switch is on. Source is number 4. Mod is toggle. Category is LED. And target is number 4. Okay. So now I hit number 4 and LED comes on and number 8 is activated. Okay, so now we are going to have a secondary switch or a secondary function on whatever preset we have on. So basically when I hit this switch again, it's going to turn on another pedal. And for me, I use my Rocky Your Repair amp clone as my pre-boost. And then I use a Studio EQ set to 5 dB boost from the M5 for my post boost. So one adds gain and more compression to the overall overdrive sound, and then the M5 adds just actual volume for like a lead or like a solo boost or something. So all right, so we are going to set number 7 to so the C num is the current number is going to bring in another pedal. All right, so the switch is on. The source now is going to be C num for current number, and then the mod is going to be toggle, and then the category is going to be loop, and the target is going to be loop 2, because that's what loop my clone is in. Okay, and I'm going to write, and if I press number 5 again, we notice that 2 comes on, but I also want an LED to come on so that I know if I'm in the secondary function or not. And that's where assign number 8 comes in. Actually, let me do this. Take that off first, because if I write that with that pedal on, it's always going to be on. So we're just gonna, if I go to that preset, the secondary function will be the first thing that comes on versus using it as a secondary function. So let me make sure I write that. Okay, so edit, enter, assign number 8. All right, switch is going to be on, and the source now is going to be I think I use the bank down for that. Actually, sorry. The source is going to be current number. Jeez. Right there. Toggle. And then the category is going to be LED. Target is going to be bank down. So let me write that. And now when I press 5, we see that the bank down LED comes on, and also loop number 2 is engaged. So now I can have my secondary function come in. And that's the main secondary function that I use. Regardless if it's a clean, a rhythm, or a lead sound, I can always bring in more gain if I want to. Okay. And that's pretty much it for the first template. So what's really cool now is, since I have my first template made, I can now go over to Utility, enter And I'm going to use patch copy to copy over my first template, and then I can complete my second template, which is just a slight alteration to the first one. So I'm going to go to bank 10 and use preset 5 as my first template, and then copy that over to preset 6. I'm going to press enter, and when that executes, now when I go to 6, I can still bring in the secondary function. I can bring in number 4. I can bring in number 3. Okay. Now what I've decided to do with my second template is use 7 and 8 also for instant access switches. So for me, that would be bringing in a pure octave or some kind of octave pedal to give me like a POG kind of sound for octave up, octave down. I can do that for any preset as long as I'm using template number 2. And also bring in the Octavia sound from the Hoof Reaper octave from Earthquaker devices. And that gives me a Jimi Hendrix Octavia Purple Haze kind of lead tone. So, and that will complete assigns 9 through 12. So let me go ahead and finish that off. So we can go back to control expression, enter, assign 9. And this is set L7 to turn on loop number 1. So switch is on. My source now is going to be 7. And I just remembered something, but I can take care of that in a second. My category is going to be loop, and then target is going to be 1. Let me show you something. If you do not disengage the function of this button, it's still going to act like it's a preset. Okay? So what I did not do was go back to number 7, and I have to disengage the function. So I have to turn it off. Okay? So now, let's do this. So basically, I went from 6 to preset 7. Okay? So I got to go back, because I forgot. This is pretty easy. See, it was still on the same function because I changed a different preset. So I got to set the function to off. And now, I hit number 7, and it does nothing. Okay, let me go ahead and do the same thing for number 8 while I'm here. And okay, now let me rewrite that. Alright, so now when I hit 7, you notice that loop number 1 turns on, but I need an LED to let me know that I've actually done that. So I go to edit, expression. I'm going to use assign number 10. And we're going to turn the switch on. The source is going to be number 7. I'm going to toggle. The category is going to be LED. And the target is going to be number 7. Okay. So now, and I screwed that up because I needed that to be off. Alright, so let me do this real fast. Assign. Let's turn the switch off. Okay. Now we're good. See what happened? Let me go show you what happened there. So I had number 7 on which engaged loop 1 when I wrote that. So now when I went back and did the LED portion of the assign function, the loop was already engaged. So when I hit this button again, the LED came on, but the loop turned off. And it's backwards. You want both functions to happen at the same time. So you got to make sure when you're doing the LED that you turn back off the previous function. Okay. So once again, number 10. I'm going to turn the switch on now. And now, oh geez. Sorry. I'm doing something weird here. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. This can be confusing a little bit. I'm going to write and go back into here, assign number 10, turn that on, write. Alright, so now the LED and the switch is on, or loop number 1 is on. I'll turn it off. Let me write that again. Alright, so now we're back to where we should be. That can be confusing if you're not used to what you're doing, and I guess I'm not used to what I'm doing. So, but it can be a common mistake, and you'll run into that when you're creating your presets and your templates. You just gotta make sure when you do write a function that that you have it in the correct mode. Otherwise, you're gonna have one on but turn the other one off, and turn one on, turn this one off, and it can be confusing. So, but we got that straightened out. So the LED turns on, loop 1 turns on. All right. And let's finish off assigns 11 and 12. So this one is going to set L8 to turn on loop 5, which is the loop that the Hoof Reaper octave is in. So source is going to be number 8, toggle, loop, categories loop, target is going to be 5. Okay, execute, then I press that, and we're good. So now, as long as I keep this off, okay, it's on right now. If I hit it again, it's going to turn it off. Okay, so now I can go to the last assign, turn the switch on, source is going to be number 8, toggle, category is now going to be LED. My number is going to be number 8. Target is going to be number 8. I'm going to write that. Okay, now LED's off, loop is off. I hit number 8. Bam, there's the LED, there's the loop. So I actually did it correctly that time. So the more you do this, the easier it is to remember where everything is. And I basically just used the control expression page. Then when you go into enter, that's where all your assigns are. If you keep going to the right, if you're using if you're changing channels of an amp or you're doing anything like that, there's all your controls and your expressions. There's all the other buttons to where you can actually turn off their function if you need to use a button for something else. But that is the end of my list, and that's pretty much it. So make sure to check out my other videos where I actually walk you through the template itself, and then how to assign that template to actually start creating presets. And then yeah, that's about it for this one. So we'll see you later. Bye.